universe is not alone.
What's happening, guys? This is James Blonde with MMOHut.com with another quick weekly recap for MMO news and announcements for the week ending April Fool's Day 2013. Don't be fooled by that. Starting off with the news this past week, Warner Bros. Interactive and DC Entertainment announced Infinite Crisis, a brand new MOBA developed by Turbine that features heroes and villains from the DC comics. Yeah, that's right, a DC MOBA. But here's the interesting part. It's actually set in the DC multiverse, which means players will control their favorite characters alongside twisted incarnations of the heroes and villains as well, like Nightmare Batman or this badass-looking steampunk Batman. I doubt the game will compete with League or Dota 2, but hopefully the cool alternate universe storyline will keep players interested. So I suppose right after PAX East is the perfect time to announce new MOBA games or something, because BigPoint, a German-based game developer and publisher, unveiled a military-themed MOBA called Merc Elite. So the game is supposed to step away from the fantasy theme of MOBAs and set itself in a near-future reality, and with this bring in tactical and shooter elements. I'm not sure exactly how they plan on doing that, but players will be able to choose from 5 different classes and from there use high-tech weaponry, brute force, stealth or hit-and-run tactics, or other various methods in completing the MOBA-centric objectives of the game. Reloaded Productions announced APB Vendetta last week at GDC. The upcoming game combines the fast-paced gameplay of a modern FPS with the freedom of movement you might find in a game like Mirror's Edge. This game was heavily inspired by mods available in Half-Life and will feature elements like dual wielding, slow motion, melee combat with Matrix-style combo system, and of course sliding, diving, wall running, and parkour-like movements throughout the arena that gain you points like doing tricks in a Tony Hawk game. Unlike its free-to-play MMO predecessor APB Reloaded, Vendetta is a buy-to-play game with all content up front. However, the game is going to be completely open to open-source modifications that can be shared freely in its community. Next up, Alienware is hosting a giveaway of closed beta keys for Origins of Malu, a sandbox MMORPG built around a changing, persistent world, whereas actions made by players actually change the physical environment even long after the actions were set in motion. The game also features no class restrictions, so players can specialize to their liking, an open-world player housing system, a powerful crafting system, and player-controlled and governed factions. Looks like they just replenished keys as of today, April 1st, so be sure to pick one up and try it out from the link in the description below. You might instantly win an Alienware. Or not. In the latest God reveal, Smite introduces Apollo, god of music, whose passive called Audacity increases his attack speed by 100% for the next 5 attacks after the initial 10 successful basic attacks. It doesn't really get much more exciting than that, because Apollo isn't the most innovative god they've released. His other skills are pretty straightforward ranged attacks, but his ultimate stands out a bit as he flies around the arena in his chariot, choosing when to come crashing down on the enemy. Not real special, and I've got to say, out of the last couple of gods Smite released, Apollo seems a bit dull. Last week, Snail Games announced that the latest expansion, Firearm Era, for Ministry of War has launched. In this expansion, players choose between China, Rome, Egypt, and Persia to expand their territories with military, cultural, and economic approaches to conquering the world. And as you can imagine, the Firearm Era brings with it plenty of new units such as the Musketeers and Artillery. There will not only be conflicts between older units and firearm units, but also between the various firearm units introduced into the expansion. Keeping up with the MMO news was a bit challenging during the preparations of our 10+ PAX East videos last week, but thanks to our close relations to Aeria Games, we've gotten an early glimpse of what's behind Aeria Games' recent decision to purchase GamePot, and believe it or not, their first joint title is set to be none other than Sword Art Online. But as of right now, we don't have a whole lot of details other than a small press release. Our insider points out that many signature characters from the related anime IP will be present in-game and controlled by GMs during set events. Characters will also unlock specific powers based on an extensive 300-question personality quiz given upon creation, some of which won't surface until much later in the game. Check out the link in the description below for all the details we currently have on this new title, and keep your eye out on MMOHut.com as more details come available. But with that said, that's actually going to be it for the major MMO updates. As far as games to look forward to, Marvel Heroes announced its launch date for June 4th, with early access to the game starting May 28th. Currently, the game is in closed beta, letting in more and more applicants, but it doesn't look like they have any intentions on transitioning into an open beta state, and will stay in closed beta all the way to launch. And of course, if you want guaranteed access to the game early, you can always pick up the Founders Packs. Nexon America launched the closed beta of Navy Field 2 last week on the 27th. The closed beta will run through April 10th and give players access to a large portion of the game's content, including hundreds of vessels such as cruisers, destroyers, and battleships. From the demo footage released during last week's GDC, the game looks like its interface and customization is similar to that of World of Tanks, or what could be World of Warships, with gameplay like Advanced Cartuga and old voice files.
Ready to go, sir.
Scarlet Blade transitions into open beta after Aeria Games talks about its success of tens of thousands of players collectively logging in over 1 million hours in the game, creating over 300,000 characters during the 2-week period. For those of you who are currently in the game, the open beta will not include a wipe before the game's official launch. Tactical Intervention, OG Planet's latest FPS from the creators of the original Counter-Strike, is now out of open beta testing and is officially launched as of March 28th. And with it, introduced 2 new weapons, new face gear, new equipment, and a new item on the black market. But anyway, guys, that's going to be it for MMO news and announcements for the week ending April 1st, 2013. Be sure to check out all of our PAX East video coverage from last week. And thanks for those of you guys who have supported our coverage so far. Like always, if you're looking for more information about the news and the recap, head over to MMOHut.com/news and feel free to discuss the news in the comments below or head over to MMOHut.com/forums. Until next time, guys, that's going to be it for me. I'm James Blonde. See you out there, gamers.